So I figured out last video, all I gotta do is persuade you guys to hit the subscribe button, and some of you actually do it. Thanks to all of you guys for breaking 78,000 subscribers here on CS News. But what's up? Hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to more of that news as Roster Mania is fully underway. So how are you doing today? Thanks for answering that question down below, and let's get on into it, because the reason why you're probably here is one of the bigger topics out there, the future of FaZe, the future of Simple. What is Navi going to do? Will he go back to Navi? Will he stick it out with FaZe? Will he sit on the bench forever? That's going to be an ongoing discussion for the next couple of weeks, and one case in particular, and the reason why we're talking about it, is that's going to be Banks. Banks and Devil Walk, they have a great podcast together. This episode will be linked down below. Go ahead and click into it, because it is Banks talking about potential Navi changes. As was previously rumored, we already talked about this. Could it be Emma? Could it be JL? Who both, by the way, are involved in our second story that I really want to get into now, but I won't, as Banks says that it could be Navi not replacing Emma. Maybe not JL, although that's not confirmed. It could also be multiple changes, but maybe he says it's going to be wonderful and they can still get Simple back. And I heard this and my ears perked up.
Very smart. But I'll say this, right? Emma's not the one that I've heard behind the scenes as a name that could be being replaced. I don't know. There could be maybe a jail change. He might even want that himself. But I know for a fact that like the one they were looking at is wonderful.
But who would they? Okay, let's say it this.
Remember, they can still
This
bring
is
Simple
rumors.
back. They can still bring Simple back.
They could, yeah.
There is still
They could.
No one can buy Simple right now. If FaZe wanted to, I'm not sure how much that would be, but it's going to be very expensive. Wonderful for me is the one who is most he's like the most likely change. But remember, they can only change 2 players to keep this VRS points they have.
Yeah, that's
So like,
true.
Wonderful goes. So let's just say that first one. Then you need to find the second player in there. It's not going to be Bit. I hadn't heard of Emma, so could it be Alexi and JL? By the way, I have not heard anything of anyone say it's JL or Alexi, but it's more likely that JL could be because you bring that Makazi kid in.
Because we have long discussed this, you know, the contract, is it up later this year? Is it up before the major? Does FaZe want to wait till he's free? Will other teams hop on that and want to pay the ridiculous price that Navi probably wants for the guy? Will he stick it out with Navi? And until Banks said this, I was like, I mean, can you force this guy back on your starting lineup if he doesn't want to be there? Like, I don't know if I get those vibes from Simple when he tweets about, you know, getting out of jail. I don't think that's a guy you probably want taking up your sniper rifle. He might shoot some teammates. I don't know what he's going to do, man. But it was an interesting theory, right? Would Simple going back to Navi, is that even a consideration? Like, is that a thing? Obviously, Navi Simple is the way I picture this guy, and it would still make me a big fan. I would love to see Simple alongside JL. I think that's actually a great personable lineup to actually get behind, but would it work? And would Simple want to be there? Is it even a possibility? And is it even worth discussing? That's what is interesting. But it does seem confirmed. Of course, we already knew this based on Alexi B and his tones to Banks himself following the major. They will make changes. And Makazi from Navi Jr. is set to join the starting roster. Navi have already confirmed that. So will it be for Emma? Will it be for JL? And is Wonderful also on the chopping block? And could they still get Simple back? That is the big question. And now, why I think, my theory out there, I guess I don't really know for sure because they're probably going to make multiple changes, but we'll see what happens. It's JL. Congratulations to my man. He met his lady. He met his partner, his woman on CS. And so she must be a freaking killer, by the way. And these two are so freaking cute together. Congratulations. JL is also officially married. And who was at the wedding? Emma himself. I really want to speculate and make theories right now, but it doesn't feel like an appropriate time to do so. So I will simply say congratulations on being wed, JL. Super happy for the guy. And with this being done, he's got the wedded man buff. All right, watch out for this man. And I don't know if you guys want all these like CS topics. For me, when I think about CS news, I want to throw in everything that has CS no matter what. It could be a streamer, it could be some drama, it could be a roster change, it could be a rule change, it could be Valve doing stuff. I love everything CS, and so that's why I'm sprinkling in this one. So let me know if you guys like this stuff. I figure we're all of the same mind. We just want CS news. Whatever it is, we can chomp at the bit of it. And so this could be some future videos because Nadeshot, yes, 100 100 Thieves co-owner. I think he's actually still CEO over there as well. That being Nadeshot, has quickly become one of the most watched CS streamers of this week because he has spent a ridiculous amount of money opening CS cases and getting absolutely nothing. At one point, he went 3,000 cases dry. If any of you guys out there have 3,000 cases from moi, I will open them and then I will keep all the stuff inside and I'll say thank you. I'm gonna go check my inventory. I am guessing I'm getting a trade offer once this video goes live. By the way, we never talked about this motherfricker, okay? I don't get trade offers too often, but when I do, it's usually this guy, this motherfricker, okay? All you deserve, motherfricker. But anyway, it was Nadeshot saying this to Shroud, and I died, dude. I was with my family. This is actually I was with my family on vacation, but I knew I was gonna be clipping out some of this stuff and wanting to share with all of you. And so I was watching a man open cases while hanging with my family, and they were like, Jake, they all started laughing at me, and I started laughing at this clip because this is what Nadeshot had to say about Shroud and his major win.
And get that shit done faster than whatever I can do. Because you know what I'm going to do? Watch a video. I haven't played this game in years. I don't know how to throw util anymore. Shit's gone.
You won a fucking major, bro. I ain't buying it.
I did not do that, but thank you.
Oh, wait, you weren't on the Cloud9 team with Tarek?
No, I watched from home. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment seeing the boys win like that. Bittersweet, if you will.
Pull the plug.
It's cool, though.
Turn the stream up again. Turn it up. I would like to have not had said that.
So yeah, man, it's been great seeing Nade in the CS space. If you guys don't know, way back in the day when I was covering CS News, I got a lot to say about this. When 100 Thieves was in Counter-Strike, I loved it. That dude in 100 Thieves received a lot of backlash for how they operated in the space, but the space was in a very good place when teams like Optic, teams like 100 Thieves, Envy, Cloud9, all of them were active, and we had big names like Nadeshot, so I miss those guys being in Counter-Strike. So if you guys want some more stuff on Nadeshot and CS case opening as some small news pieces, let me know down below. Also some smaller news out there, but a lot of people have spoken out about this one. That being ESL has now changed some of their rules and policies going forward for the rest of this year and all future events. That will be show matches are no longer a thing. They're replacing all show matches with third place decider matches. This is such a non-news story to me, but I know some of you guys care about this. I would say generally I agree with this move. I usually don't watch any show matches because I don't cover show matches. I think show matches, in my opinion, are meant for the crowd and the viewers that are actually at the venue to see some great old timers or some random people having fun that you haven't seen play on the server in a long time. And they're a great piece. I don't mind show matches for the live audience. At home, I've never watched them. They'll be replaced with a third place decider matchup, which I also don't have a strong feeling about. I will be covering them, obviously, and it matters for VRS points now, especially for next major going forward. This does matter a lot to teams. To place third versus fourth, it will matter, but it's also not the most important thing in the world to me. So I get the change. I do think it makes sense, but a bit of a non-news piece, but I'm sure some of you guys do care about this. Is it good? Or is it bad? Leave a comment. And very lastly, for all of you guys, I just want to say I'm so sorry. Every now and again, you're going to see sparks of my spazzing, and I just like to ramble. And I know some of you enjoy that and some of you hate that. But when we talk about all these topics, it just sparks all these little thoughts in my head that I feel like I need to tell you about random things in CS. But that's going to be about Wildcard, guys, and they have now made some surprise roster changes. If you don't remember, the NA run from Wildcard for the major was lackluster, and honestly, they did not live up to expectations whatsoever. I was very disappointed in the run, but only because I expected so much more out of them. And I think of any North American teams in this major run, I think they were probably the ones that were most predicted to at least progress a stage. And so with those results that they had at the major, they have now benched Stanislaw and Phzy, which has been pronounced 3 different ways throughout this major. And so I apologize, but now Phzy's gone as well, which is kind of surprising. And if you guys don't remember, Stanislaw, I believe, was also on a contract extension through the first major of 2026. He was supposed to be in this lineup for a lot longer. And so this surprised me, and it makes me wonder if they're making room for maybe a bigger roster move. I still am very high on this roster, but these moves have made me confused. And also, I saw JBA, I think, in the major, and I got too nervous to say hi. That is 100% on me. So Wildcard are the first NA team to make changes, and that only makes me interested because we could have some other NA players in a chopping block that might be of interest to teams out there. So will M80 make changes with their bowing out? Complexity, what are they going to do? Of course, we have Wildcard now sparking these things. You got a guy like Liquid and NAF, who people are think is going to kind of go different ways based on how he talked about things post-major. So a lot going down. But until next time, thank you all for watching. As per usual, I appreciate you guys being here, okay? A quick heads up. I know I've been talking too much. I will be going to the Esports World Cup over the next week or so to cover Apex and Valorant and do player interviews. And I already have a few lined up that you guys actually might enjoy because they might be some former CS guys or, some CEOs out there. So the next 10 to 14 days is going to be super busy. I will be trying to make CS news videos from my hotel room in Riyadh. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be behind, so I appreciate all of your help. If you guys want to leave comments down below if anything I missed or send me DMs on Twitter, I appreciate that. So thank you all for being here. I do appreciate y'all, and I'll see you back here probably tomorrow morning. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.